Raider Nation, listen up because things are getting intense as we head into week 4. And we have to talk about what's going on with this Raiders team. I don't even know where to start, honestly, because after watching that last game against Washington, it's hard to see how this team is supposed to move forward if nothing changes. All 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, were a disaster. Absolutely every area had serious issues, and it's left fans like me wondering, what is even happening during practice? Do the coaches actually have a plan to get this team ready for game day? Or is it just a free-for-all when they hit the field? Let's start with special teams, because that's where the breakdown was most glaring. I mean, giving up nearly 2 kick return touchdowns, surrendering nearly 250 yards in that area alone. It's the kind of performance that sets you back before you even touch the football. And then there's the defense. We couldn't generate pressure, tackles were sloppy, and assignments seemed non-existent. It's almost as if the players weren't prepared for what Washington was going to do. Running the football should have been anticipated, especially with a quarterback like Marcus Mariota under center and key defensive pieces missing. Yet somehow, it looked like they had no plan, no adjustments, no preparation, nothing. And then, of course, there's the offense. Where do I even begin? Watching the offensive line struggle like that is gut-wrenching. I've been shouting about the issues with this unit for weeks, but seeing it live on game day is something else entirely. The lack of cohesion, the inability to sustain any sort of drive, it all points to a bigger problem. This team isn't executing the basics at a level we've come to expect from professional football players. This isn't a matter of talent alone. It's preparation, coaching, and accountability. It's glaringly obvious that something is broken, and if it isn't addressed immediately, we're going to continue down a very scary path. One of the most frustrating aspects for me is seeing continuity ignored in the offensive line. Last season, there were clear setups that worked: JPJ at center, Meredith at guard, Parham at right guard, and Glaze at right tackle. That lineup wasn't perfect, but it functioned, and it gave the offense stability. Now, with Brandon Carroll overseeing the unit, performance has regressed dramatically. The cohesion is gone, the protection is inconsistent, and the results on the field speak for themselves. 12 sacks already in 3 games? That's a historically bad pace. This is the kind of regression that doesn't just hurt one game, it drags the entire team down and affects confidence across the board. If you want this line to succeed, you need the right people in the right positions, and you need accountability. The current setup isn't getting it done, and fans are starting to notice loudly. And yet, even with all of these issues, there are bright spots. Trey Tucker is a player who deserves attention and more opportunities. He was targeted 9 times in the last game, caught 8 passes, racked up 145 yards, and scored 3 touchdowns. He can stretch the field, create pre-snap confusion, and make defenses pay when they fail to respect his speed. The problem is the offense overall is so out of sync that his contributions are limited by the failures up front. If the line can't protect, if routes aren't timed correctly, then even a player like Tucker can't reach his full potential. But make no mistake, he's a critical piece, and giving him a bigger role could be a game changer if the team is smart enough to adjust around him. Then there's the health and status of key players like Michael Mayer. We don't have clear updates yet, and realistically, with the concussion protocol and last season's concerns, it's likely the Raiders will be extra cautious. That's understandable, but it also affects offensive strategy. Mayer is important in 12 personnel sets, and without him, the offense loses a lot of versatility. Ian Thomas has to step up if Mayer isn't ready, but there's no replacing the rhythm that comes with having your primary tight end available. The team has to find a balance between player safety and maintaining competitive integrity on the field, but every absence creates a new challenge, especially when facing a team like the Chicago Bears, who are aggressive, well-coached, and looking to test the Raiders' ability to respond under pressure. Speaking of Chicago, Week 4 is going to be a real test. The Raiders have to measure themselves against not just the talent across the line of scrimmage, but the strategy, the preparation, and the ability to execute under pressure. Caleb Williams is a dynamic quarterback, and if left unpressured, he can make defenses look foolish. But he also has the vulnerability of inconsistency. Confident, he's dangerous. Unsure, he's beatable. The Raiders need to figure out how to disrupt his rhythm, generate pressure, and force mistakes, because if they fail, we're looking at another season trend of underperformance. Every missed assignment, every sack allowed, every blown coverage only amplifies the problem. And here's the thing about preparation. This team has had the time to get better between games. They've had practice, they've had film study, and yet the same mistakes keep appearing. Whether it's execution, alignment, or decision-making, the team is repeating issues instead of correcting them. That's what frustrates fans the most. It's not just losing. It's the feeling that progress is stagnant. Raider Nation deserves better. The players deserve better coaching and support. And honestly, the team itself needs to prove that it is capable of responding, adapting, and moving forward. The message is loud and clear. The Raiders cannot continue down this path. They need focus, accountability, and smart decisions. From the offensive line to key skill players like Tucker and Mayer, everyone has to be utilized properly. The team has to prepare thoroughly, not just show up and hope things work out. Continuity matters, execution matters, and every practice counts. If the coaching staff is serious about winning, they have to act now, because fans are paying attention and history doesn't forget. Every blown assignment, every sack, every missed opportunity adds up, and the Raiders cannot afford another week like what we saw against Washington. This is not just criticism, it's a call to action. There are pieces in place that can work, and there are players who can elevate the team if given the right opportunities. But nothing will improve without accountability and the right structure in coaching decisions. Raider Nation is watching, and we're expecting more than empty words. We're expecting performance, execution, and results. Week 4 is a test of character, preparation, and strategy, and the Raiders have to show that they are ready to meet it head-on. Now, looking ahead to the upcoming clash against the Chicago Bears, the stakes could not be higher. This is not just another game on the schedule. It's a litmus test for the Raiders' identity, their preparation, and their ability to respond to adversity. Chicago is no pushover. They've built momentum. They've got a quarterback in Caleb Williams who can stretch the field and make defenses pay if left unchecked, and they have a revamped interior line that can pass protect at a high level. The Raiders have to bring pressure from the first snap. They can't allow Williams to settle in or find comfort behind the line, because once that happens, it's going to be a long day for the defense. This is a situation where every tackle, every coverage adjustment, and every blitz call matters, and there's no room for sloppy execution. Offensively, the Raiders have to solve the puzzle that has haunted them since the season began, the offensive line. It's impossible to overstate how critical this unit is. The protection breakdowns against Washington were catastrophic, and until they are fixed, nothing else can function at the level it needs to. Fans have been vocal about this because it's the foundation of the offense. The right players in the right positions, with the right coach guiding them, is non-negotiable. JPJ at center, Meredith at guard, Parm at right guard, and DJ Glaze at right tackle. This combination worked last season. It gave the team stability, and it allowed skilled players to thrive. Regressing from that setup without a logical reason is baffling. In every game we see poor line play, we lose opportunities to move the ball, sustain drives, and put pressure on the opposing defense. The Raiders need to act decisively here, because their margin for error is disappearing fast. Trey Tucker remains a bright spot, and he has to be used even more effectively. He's shown that he can beat coverage, stretch the field vertically, and create matchup problems for the defense. In a game where the line struggles to hold protection for more than a few seconds, Tucker's speed and versatility can open up opportunities elsewhere. He's a player that should be at the center of the offensive game plan, a reliable option in both the passing and running game, and someone the team can build around when trying to attack a disciplined Chicago defense. He's not a luxury, he's a necessity. If the Raiders can't find a way to get him involved consistently, it's going to be another frustrating afternoon for everyone watching. The running game, too, needs attention. If the Raiders can't sustain the line, they can't open running lanes, and if they can't run the ball, the play action and deeper passes lose effectiveness. There's a direct correlation between line play and offensive balance. And right now, the connection is weak. The Bears are going to test this relentlessly. They're aggressive in the front seven, and they won't hesitate to attack gaps in the line. This is where preparation comes in. The Raiders have to anticipate the pressure, adjust in real time, and keep the offense moving. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, frustrating day at Allegiant Stadium. Defensively, the Raiders have to find ways to rattle Williams, but they can't rely on one trick or one scheme. Chicago's protection is solid, their offensive line is cohesive, and they can hold up against basic rushes. The Raiders have to be creative, they have to disguise coverages, and they have to rotate pressure to confuse the quarterback. Mistiming a rush or overcommitting to a blitz will be punished. And we've already seen how fast, talented quarterbacks can exploit mistakes. This isn't just about speed off the edge. It's about timing, leverage, and reading the offense pre-snap. The Raiders have to execute with precision because if they fail, Williams is going to pick them apart, and the team's confidence is going to take another hit. Special teams cannot be ignored. After giving up nearly 250 yards and multiple touchdowns last week, it's obvious that this phase is a weakness. Kickoff coverage, punt coverage, and field goal protection need to improve immediately. The Raiders cannot allow big returns to set up short fields for Chicago, because that's a momentum swing that could define the game before the offense even touches the ball. Every yard matters, and every breakdown has to be eliminated. The team needs discipline, focus, and communication on every snap. And the mental aspect cannot be underestimated. The Raiders have struggled with consistency, with execution, and with discipline. Confidence is fragile, and players need to know their roles and trust their preparation. When you face a team like the Bears, who are aggressive and confident, any hint of hesitation can be exploited. The Raiders have to play with energy, with focus, and with the belief that they can impose their will. That starts in practice, and it has to carry into game day. The quarterback position also comes into focus. Confidence, accuracy, and timing will be crucial, especially given the challenges up front. Every throw needs protection. Every decision needs to be quick, and every misstep can lead to turnovers or lost opportunities. The Raiders can't afford to force plays or rely on improvisation too often, because that invites disaster. Strategic play calling, combined with execution and line protection, is the only path to a consistent offense. Injuries remain a concern as well. Michael Myers' status is uncertain, and if he's not fully healthy, the Raiders will need Ian Thomas and other personnel to step up. The loss of a key tight end affects both the passing game and the blocking schemes, and the team must be ready to adjust without losing efficiency. Depth, versatility, and readiness from every player is essential because the Bears will exploit any weakness. All of these factors, offensive line performance, special teams execution, defensive pressure, player health, and mental focus, combine to make this game a pivotal moment in the Raiders season. It's more than just a matchup. It's a reflection of preparation, coaching decisions, and the team's ability to respond to adversity. Week 4 is a defining test, and the Raiders have to rise to the challenge. There's no room for excuses, no room for lapses, and no room for letting opportunities slip away. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Las Vegas, Nevada. The rumor mill is buzzing and Raiders fans are holding their breath. Sources close to the team suggest that Las Vegas has secured a major defensive reinforcement. JADEVEON CLOWNEY, one of the most feared pass rushers in the NFL, is reportedly on his way to the Raiders, sending shockwaves through the league. While the team has yet to confirm anything officially, insiders hint that the move could be a game-changer for a defense that has struggled to consistently pressure opposing quarterbacks. CLOWNEY, known for his explosive first step and uncanny ability to disrupt plays, would instantly become the centerpiece of Las Vegas' defensive front. The whispers around the NFL circles point to a strategic push by Raiders management to finally solidify a unit that has been criticized for its inconsistencies over the past seasons. Fans at Allegiant Stadium are already imagining the nightmares for opposing quarterbacks, Relentless blitzes, bone-crushing tackles, and a presence that demands constant double teams. The speculation isn't just about on-field impact. Analysts suggest that Clowney's arrival could transform the Raiders' locker room culture, injecting leadership and a swagger that has been missing. With the team aiming to rise from mediocrity and make a serious playoff push, acquiring a player of Clowney's caliber, even if just for a short-term deal, signals an aggressive approach. Social media is alight with excitement, debates, and predictions about how the defensive schemes could shift to maximize his talent. Of course, all of this remains in the realm of tantalizing rumor, but the chatter is persistent. Could Clowney finally find a home where his talents are fully unleashed? And can the Raiders capitalize on this potential acquisition to dominate the AFC West? One thing is certain. If this deal comes to fruition, the NFL landscape will be watching Las Vegas with new eyes. For now, the city waits, fans dream, and the rumor refuses to die down. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.